Good morning, guys. This is Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, USA. It is 7:27 a.m. Central Standard Time, by the way. It is August, or scratch that August. I make a lot of mistakes. It ain't going to get any better either. April the 26th, 2017 at 7:28 a.m. Got up and getting my day started here. Check my comments. And I got one from a fellow. I think it's a fellow, hard to say. And let's go to his question here. Here it is. Okay. It says, I have seen some of your videos before, but I stumbled on your video about tiny homes and it piqued my interest. Good. I have been looking into tiny homes as an option for myself, possibly a friend. We are looking into moving to Terlingua, Texas. Woo! Talk about moving out in the boonies, huh? But anyway, which you mentioned you had lived there in the video. I did live there for 2 years almost. Are there companies that build sheds like you featured in your video near Terlingua? Man, ain't nothing near Terlingua. I'll follow up on that in a minute though. I am looking for an off-grid build. You better be, because out there's nothing. And something like that would work well for me, and it probably would. From your experience in the area, what are some of the better parts of the area to live in? My daily driver is a Hyundai Accent, so it will probably be capable of the same types of routes as your Prius. I thank you for your time, information, and great videos. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do, we're going to title this thing. This is like for people that are looking for a home base, or, they want to get off the grid and live in one of those portable buildings and convert it into a home and, put solar and stuff like that. So, yeah, I did live out there, and I don't know if you haven't been there, before you start getting too far into your search, I recommend you go out to Terlingua Ranch. They have a Terlingua Ranch headquarters off of Highway 118, going from Alpine, going toward Big Bend National Park. On the left-hand side, you turn, you go it takes about 30 minutes off the road to get there, and it's a little resort. They have some cabins and you can camp there and so forth. So go out there and do you some tent camping, and then while you're there, you'll be right at the little resort or ranch headquarters, and you can get maps and look at property for sale right there. They'll show you property for sale by owner. Now, if it's for sale by a realtor, you may have to contact the realtor. But anyway, having said that, are there companies that build sheds like you featured in your video near Terlingua? Probably not. Probably the nearest place to Terlingua Ranch that you would be able to get a storage building would be Odessa, Texas, or Midland, Texas, maybe Fort Stockton, Texas. Fort Stockton would be your first choice because it's the closest. From Fort Stockton, Texas to Terlingua Ranch is about, probably 80 to 90 miles. That's about as close as you're going to get. Now, the nearest town is Alpine, of any size, is Alpine, Texas, from Terlingua Ranch area. And it depends on where you live on the Terlingua Ranch, but if you live near the old American Legion building, or the American Legion off 118 on the ranch, you're 50 miles from Alpine, Texas, because that's where I lived. And the reason I live there is the elevation there's about 3,300 feet, and it's a lot cooler in the summer there than it is down along the Studi Butte, Terlingua Ghost Town area. But anyway, having said that, you need to go to their website. I'll give you the website you need to go to, and this will help you a lot. The Property Owners Association has a website. It's http poetry. It's poatri.org. Let me say that again. poatri.org. That's Property Owners Association, Terlingua Ranch Incorporated. And you do have to pay association dues. I don't know how much they are now. They're probably around $200 for each tract, or for whatever property you own. And I was always a little put out by that, because I owned, I don't remember, 40 acres. And some of those people out there own 400, 800 acres, and they paid the same dues that I did. And what it's all about is maintaining the roads. The roads can be a little difficult, and since you've got, I did when I lived there, I had a pickup. I didn't have a Prius, and the roads can be a little difficult. So you're probably going to have to get a piece of property that is accessible by and be sure you get off of an all-weather road. It doesn't have to be paved. It can be rocks or whatever, but just so it's not the clay out there. The surface of the desert in that area is covered with what's called bentonite. Bentonite is a clay, and when it's dry, it's dusty. When it's wet, it's like ice. I mean, whenever it's wet, you can't travel on it at all. And so, anyway, hang on one second. I got to turn my tea off. It's boiling over here. That's the real world, folks. These are heavily planned videos. But anyway, so the clay bentonite is like ice. I mean, it doesn't rain out there much, obviously. It's a desert area. So you can get, 10 months a year, probably not much rain or any. But every now and then you're going to get these thunderstorms out there, and that clay will get wet. And of course, it dries out real quick. Within a few hours after a rain, everything's pretty much back to normal. But remember, it's a desert and the sun shines a lot. And also, another little caution that you might be aware of if you're going to put a building out there is every now and then during the spring and sometimes in the summer, they get these little Texas thunderstorms. And what happens is a big old cloud will build up and it'll get dark, and the wind will go from 10 miles an hour to 80, just like that. Okay? So if you have anything outside, instead of being on the Terlingua Ranch, it may be in Dallas, Texas. Okay? So, you'll learn. You'll learn. For those of you, if you're out there, going to go out there in an RV, don't ever put the awning out. Don't even fool with it. Okay? Because when you come back, it's going to be on the roof of your RV. But having said that, the roads can be a little difficult. They try to maintain them. I think they've only got one maintainer, and they've probably got 500 miles of roads. And now the area, you'll have to, again, I strongly suggest before you get too far into this thing, is to go out there, go to the Terlingua Ranch Resort. Now that's off Highway 118. That's on the Terlingua Ranch itself. The Terlingua Ranch was just a huge ranch that was busted up into little tracts of land, and now it's just a business. And the way they make their money is these property association fees, because they probably got 4,000 to 5,000 tracts of land, and you multiply that times $200, you're going to end up with a little over $1 million a year budget, and so they do okay on that. And now at the resort, they've got a swimming pool, a little restaurant, some cabins, again, some tent camping, and it's very inexpensive. But again, when you turn off Highway 118 going towards the ranch headquarters, it's paved for a good part of the way, and then all of a sudden you come up on this washboard gravel road for the last 3 miles, and that's the way that is. So, but that'll just get you used to what it's like to live out there on that ranch. It's very primitive. Some sites do have power. To get power out there is very expensive. To get water is very expensive. Now, if once you buy land out there, if you're a property owner association member, you can get drinking water at the Terlingua Ranch headquarters for virtually, I don't know, probably 20 cents a gallon, maybe less. It's pennies. I mean, it may be much less than that. But that's what I used to do. I'd drive over and fill up my water jugs once a week or so. And that worked out okay. Now, you can do a water catchment where you catch the water off the roof, but you're not going to get much of that. You won't be able to count on that. And as far as power, of course, you can use solar or these little windmills and get by pretty good, because you don't need much power. They also have, amazingly, they've got Big Ben Telephone Company out there, and it's got the what do you call it? The little super fast thing, digital cable or whatever it is. No, and they have it all over that ranch. I mean, I'm telling you, if you have a building that meets their guidelines, they will set you up a phone so you'll have good internet access. And that's another thing. As far as cell phone service, it's going to be intermittent. You may have a spot that has service and you may not. And I would say count on not having it because, you know, it's pretty tough. There's not much out there, man. And then as far as the little towns around it, there's one called Studi Butte. It looks like Steady Butt, but it's Studi Butte. And then there's the ghost town, Terlingua, the ghost town, the old mining town. And then there's Lajitas, which is a 5-star resort not too far away. And then if you wanted to go to Mexico, you can go further on around that same old mountain highway drive and go across into Ojinaga. It's called OJ out there. And but you know, before you do anything, your first step, in my opinion, would be to go to the Property Owner Association website, which is poatri.org. For those of you that are looking for a home base, or you're looking to set up one of these little portable buildings, check that out because the land is cheap. In fact, I've got some pulled up right here. I'll tell you, this is track number 3077 in Agua Fria, which is a pretty nice place. That's kind of in the mountain. Agua Fria just means cold water, but there ain't no water there. There might be a stream somewhere. I never saw it. But it's track number 3077, 20 acres more or less. And also tract F83, F823-A, 2.5 acres more or less. Both parcels, $3,400. $3,400, okay, you got me? Cheap as you're going to get it. But here's the little fine print. There are back taxes of approximately $1,100, so you're looking at $4,500 now. And that'd be due at the time you transfer the property. Plus, see, he left this out. Plus, if there's any property association fees that haven't been paid, you have to pay those too. So it's, you know, but here's a phone number if you want to contact this guy. His name's Arlen, A-R-L-E-N. The phone number for this is 650-745-6250. And he posted this a long time ago, so it may not be available. But yeah, that just gives you an idea. But there's several different areas out there. You've got Agua Fria area. You've got the Big Bend Valley area. That's kind of where I lived. It was off Highway 118. I lived on the west side of Highway 118 behind the American Legion, about 2 miles off the highway. The highway is hardly traveled. So, you know, 2 miles off the highway, you still hear a little bit of highway noise, but very little because the highway is just not heavily traveled at all. And then you've got another area called Cedar Springs, and you got North Corazones and Solitario. Solitario is north of the ghost town at Terlingua Ghost Town. And even though it's easy to get into, if it rains, you're stuck because that is all bentonite clay. Those roads are not that good. When it's wet, you're poo-poo. But again, you're in a desert. It's not going to be a big issue. But if you go to Poatri, poatri.org, they've got maps. They've got land listed for sale. They've got everything you want to know about Terlingua Ranch. And let me go back to your comment and see if I've answered all your questions. Move to Terlingua. Are there companies that build sheds? Probably nearest place you're going to find would be Fort Stockton, Texas. You can check there. Number 2 would be Odessa, Texas. Well, first of all, you can check in Alpine, but I doubt it. Now, they might be able to get you one shipped to Alpine and then moved out to the ranch. Or number 2, you might be able to find one out there on the ranch that somebody has that they'll sell you, and then you can arrange for somebody to come move it. You're looking off-grid bill. Great, good for you. From your experience, what are some of the better parts? Big Bend Valley is okay because it's easy access. The roads are flat. Now, if you get up in the mountains, you know, the Corazones and stuff, and then you got another place out there called 9 Points Mesa. You know, it goes right up into the mountains. Yeah, you can get out there in the boonies where you can't find your way back. I'm telling you, it's that big. But again, Big Bend Valley is okay. It's just flat. Okay, it's just flat. You know, you got beautiful views, 360s all the time. As far as your vehicle, the Honda Accent, again, go out to the ranch, spend a week, check it out, and make up your own mind on that. But again, that's all I got to say for you guys that are looking for a home base or a place to put one of these portable buildings. Check out Terlingua Ranch. The land is cheap. It is remote, and it might be a place you could go and live for a few months every year. So anyway, this is Rusty78609 saying what? If you want to contact me by mail, you can. Rusty, P.O. Box 1446, Kingsland, Texas 78639. And I got this wrong yesterday. I said you could PayPal me too. I used the wrong address, which is not unusual. But anyway, it's PayPal is Rusty78609 at yahoo.com. not that other thing I said. So having said that, guys, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye, 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 USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water. 3 quarts a day will not hurt you. You'll get to become good friends with your restroom, which one of the viewers has. And there may be a marriage on our channel pretty soon. Take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose. Deep and out through your mouth. Do that several times a day. Why? It relieves stress. Relieving stress lowers your blood pressure. Lower your blood pressure makes you feel better and improves your health. And what else? Stretch. I'm fixing to go do that right now and walk for exercise. Keep your health, because hopefully my camper top will be coming in maybe next week, if not for sure the week after, I hope. And we're going to go somewhere where I don't know. And the only thing I've really got to overcome, as far as I know in my mind, is keeping the inside of the camper top when I'm there to rest or sleep at a comfortable temperature. And I've ordered a battery operated fan that's also 12 volt, and maybe that will do it. We'll see. Anyway, thumbs up, guys. Keep your health, and maybe we'll have mail call today. We will see. Anyway, guys, bye-bye from Central Texas. Enjoy from my lovely studios in my 26-foot Jayco J-Flight bunkhouse model RV at my home base in Central Texas. Bye-bye, guys. Enjoy your day. Keep your health. Bye-bye.